again. The Forensic Crash Unit is now investigating after a 26-year-old White Rock man died following a three-vehicle crash at Gordonvale yesterday morning. Initial investigations indicate three vehicles collided just after 6 o'clock along the Bruce Highway. The driver of a Toyota Hilux was transported to Cairns Hospital in a critical condition, where he later passed away, and 5 others were transported to Cairns Hospital in varying conditions. Meanwhile, airports in the far north and across the country are bracing for a surge in travellers this festive season. Melbourne and Sydney airports are both expecting around 6 million passengers through their terminals and more than 3 million for Brisbane. The busiest days are expected to be the 22nd and 23rd of December. And turtle sightings are occurring on a number of beaches across far north Queensland. And while it's a nice sight for turtle lovers, a wildlife expert is warning people to not get near females coming to shore to lay eggs. Senior Conservation Officer Dr. Ian Bell says if you do see a turtle or its nest being disturbed in any way, you can call for help. To tomorrow's weather now, sunny in Cairns reaching 34 and 33 degrees in Eastoe. Victoria Eastoe, good night. Good evening. A second bridge over the Bowl River will open to motorists tomorrow morning following the completion of Stage 5 of the Townsville Ring Road project. The new Bowl River Bridge is the largest structure built within the project, consisting of 96 piles and 160 deck units, while the southbound entry ramp at Riverway Drive reopened this morning after a 3-month closure to reconfigure the ramp and improve safety and capacity. And a new northbound entry ramp will also open at Beck Drive tomorrow, providing better access to the growing Upper Ross area. Meanwhile, 1,800 personnel have returned to our Townsville shores after visiting 14 countries as part of Australia's flagship regional engagement activity, Indo-Pacific Endeavour for 2022. During deployment, HMS Adelaide has helped the force, which conducted a series of joint training activities and planning exercises with partner nations. To sport now, and North Red and North White went head-to-head on Wednesday night, with North Red emerging victorious, defeating Whites by 3 wickets in Townsville's first ever Women's Cricket League competition. Partly cloudy in Townsville tomorrow and 33 in Ayr. I'm Victoria Eastoe, good night. Good evening. New figures confirm 2022 has been a year of highs and lows for the Queensland property market. The end-of-year analysis by Domain reveals Timbeerwah ranked 3rd for the Queensland suburb, with the highest views per listing for houses and units combined, with Noosa Heads and Noosa Waters also making the top 20. Chief of Research and Economics Dr. Nicola Powell expects demand for regional areas to continue into next year. Meanwhile, AMA Queensland is urging Sunshine Coast residents and visitors to our region to be on alert for meningococcal symptoms after a fresh warning from health authorities. It's understood a Victorian teenager contracted the disease while at school years here on the Sunshine Coast between November 26 and December 3rd. President Dr. Maria Bolton says anyone in the area at that time should seek medical advice immediately if they become unwell. And some of the Sunshine Coast best junior cricketers are on their way to Cairns with the 2022 Will Masters Under-16 Youth Cup happening this weekend. The tournament will run from December 11th through the 15th, with clubs travelling from right across the state. To tomorrow's weather now, cloudy in Noosa and 25 degrees in Caloundra. I'm Victoria Eastoe, good night. Good evening. Mining giant Glencore has abandoned plans for a major coal mine in central Queensland because of increased global uncertainty. The Valeria project will no longer go ahead in the Central Highlands, northwest of Emerald. The discontinued plans were for a mine capable of producing 20 million tonnes of coal annually. In other news now, and tributes have been pouring in for Holly the chimpanzee. who passed away at Rockhampton Zoo on Wednesday morning. The 34-year-old chimp fell suddenly ill the night before, with samples sent away to determine how she died. Holly had been in Rockhampton for more than a decade and leaves behind a 2-year-old. Blair Chapman from the zoo says the team is feeling the loss. And it will begin to sound a lot like Christmas this weekend. The Mayor's Carols by Candlelight is happening at the Rockhampton Sound Bowl tomorrow night, with gates opening from 5 p.m. And Carols on the Beach is set to take place on the Yeppoon foreshore on Sunday. That starts at midday with markets, wrapping up with fireworks at 8:30. To tomorrow's weather now, a shower or two and a possible storm in Rockhampton, and a top of 27 degrees in Gladstone. I'm Victoria Eastoe. Have a good night. Good evening. More than 300 homes across the Wide Bay were still without power this morning after wild storms lashed the region yesterday. While large hailstones and strong winds were recorded, the biggest threat to the public is now down power lines. Brett Judge from Ergon Energy says at one point last night there were more than 6,000 homes without power. In other news now, AMA Queensland's president is encouraging Wide Bay residents to be on alert for meningococcal symptoms. It comes after a Victorian teenager contracted the disease while on schoolies at the Sunshine Coast between November 26 and December 3rd. President Dr. Maria Bolton says there's a lot of illnesses going around at the moment. To sports now, and the Bundaberg Spring Cup Grand Final takes place tomorrow night. It's the Western Suburbs Barbarians taking on the East Bundaberg Pythons. Kick-off is tomorrow night at 6:30 at the Wave Sports Club. Taking a look at tomorrow's weather forecast across the region now, a possible shower or storm in Bundaberg, Hervey Bay to reach a high 27, cloudy in Maryborough, and a top of 25 degrees in Gympie. That's all your news for today. I'm Victoria Eastoe. Have a good night.